Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving into something that's totally changing how we handle our money, artificial intelligence.
All right, so let's get right into it. Is an AI about to become your new financial advisor? I mean, it's a question a lot of us are asking, right? Especially with these AI tools getting so much smarter and, honestly, easier to get your hands on. So, what's really going on here? Okay, so to really get a handle on AI's role in all of this, let's get one thing straight. It's not an autopilot. It's not going to just take over the whole show. A much better way to think about it is as a super powerful financial co-pilot. It's sitting there right beside you, designed to make your decision-making better, not to replace you. So what's the big deal with this co-pilot? Why is it so valuable? Well, it can see things we just can't. It processes and analyzes just a staggering amount of information, and it does it in real time. We're talking about a scale that no human brain, not even a whole team of analysts, could ever hope to manage. It's like having a superpower that augments our own instincts with pure raw computational might.
And this is where it gets really, really cool. This AI copilot doesn't just look at the boring old balance sheet. No way. Of course, it looks at the structured stuff we're used to. Stock prices, trading volumes, all that. But it goes so much deeper. It can read and understand unstructured data, like news articles, what people are saying on social media, and even what's called alternative data. We're talking about looking at satellite images of retail parking lots or tracking cargo ships with GPS to spot economic trends before anyone else. It's finding these hidden patterns that we would just completely miss.
All right, so that all sounds pretty impressive. But what does this AI copilot actually do for you, the investor? Let's break down the toolkit and see what strategies it really puts on the table.
At its core, AI's job is to take this giant, messy sea of data and turn it into something you can actually use. Clear, actionable insights. So it starts by analyzing companies from every possible angle at the same time. The financials, the news, the market chatter. Then it starts connecting the dots, spotting these subtle trends that a person might not notice until it's too late. And what do you get at the end of all that? A strategy to manage your portfolio. One that's optimized specifically for your goals and how much risk you're comfortable with.
So this naturally brings us to a big decision a lot of investors face today. Do you go with an automated robo-advisor or stick with a traditional human advisor? It's a real trade-off, right? On one side, you've got the robo-advisor. It's cheap, it's easy to use, and it does the basics really well. But it doesn't really know you or your complex life situations. Then you have the human advisor, who can give you that deep, personalized plan, but it's going to cost you a lot more.
Now, you might be thinking, okay, this is probably just for the big Wall Street firms. And for a long time it was. But the toolkit for regular individual investors is growing like crazy. You've got robo-advisors like Betterment and Wealthfront for that set-it-and-forget-it portfolio management. There are even AI-managed ETFs like AIEQ, where an AI is literally picking the stocks. Heck, you can use things like ChatGPT or Gemini right now to help you summarize a dense earnings report. And of course, there are budgeting apps like Mint or Clio that use AI to give you a personalized look at your spending.
Okay, but it's not all sunshine and rainbows. This AI copilot, well, it's far from perfect. There are some really significant risks and, honestly, some pretty tricky ethical problems that we absolutely have to talk about before we even think about handing over the controls.
And right at the heart of it is this thing called the black box problem. What is that? Well, it's when an AI's decision-making process gets so complicated that we, the humans, can't actually understand how it got to its answer. It just spits out a recommendation and we're left scratching our heads. And think about it, if you don't understand the why behind a financial decision, you've got a massive transparency issue on your hands.
And listen, this isn't just some academic thought experiment. The pros, the people who manage billions of dollars, are seriously worried about this. A big survey from the CFA Institute found that the #1 risk for investment firms when it comes to adopting AI is, you guessed it, that lack of transparency in the algorithms. It's even ahead of things like data security. That tells you how big of a deal this is.
Regulators are waving a big red flag here too. The European Securities and Markets Authority basically said it flat out. Be skeptical. A lot of these AI tools you find online are totally unregulated. And here's the kicker. They have zero legal duty to act in your best interest. None. Let that sink in.
And the danger actually goes even deeper than that. Think about this. If an AI is trained on historical data, and that data is full of our own human biases, well, the AI doesn't just learn those biases, it can actually amplify them. This can lead to some seriously unfair outcomes in really important stuff, like who gets approved for a loan. It could end up perpetuating inequality, all running silently in the background.
Okay, so with all these risks on the table, what's the answer? Do we just ditch the tech entirely? No, not at all. It's about finding the right balance, about keeping the human in the loop.
And this quote from an online discussion really hits the nail on the head. It perfectly captures that anxiety a lot of people are feeling. It's not just about, oh, a machine is helping me. It's this deeper fear of, what if I'm just not needed anymore? What's left for us to do?
And that's exactly why the most effective path forward isn't just AI on its own. It's this powerful combination, AI plus HI, or human intelligence. The goal here is for the AI to be a tool that complements our judgment, not one that replaces it. The human pilot absolutely has to stay in control of the plane.
Because look, there are just some things that the human pilot brings to the cockpit that an AI co-pilot, it just can't do. We're the ones who provide the ethical oversight, the final say. We understand the deeply personal reasons why someone is saving for a house or for their kids' education. And, so importantly, we're the ones who can manage the fear and greed that comes with a crazy market. In the end, we hold the ultimate accountability.
And if you need a little reality check that AI isn't some kind of magic money-printing machine, well, here it is. There's an ETF out there run entirely by an AI. And since it started, it has actually underperformed the S&P 500 benchmark. It's a really powerful reminder that AI is just a tool, a very sophisticated one for sure, but it is not a guarantee that you're going to beat the market.
All right, so knowing all this, the good, the bad, and the black box, how can you navigate this new world responsibly? Let's talk about how you can actually use these tools to your advantage, and crucially, how to avoid the common pitfalls.
So here are a few quick tips to keep in mind. First, know what you want to achieve before you even pick a tool. Second, when you do dip your toes in, start small. Test things out with a little slice of your portfolio. Third, and this is probably the most important one, verify, don't just trust. Use the AI's output as a starting point, not the final word. And please, if any tool or website ever promises you guaranteed returns, run the other way. Be super skeptical. And all of this really leaves us with a big, provocative question for the future. Are we building a Star Trek universe, where this technology helps create shared prosperity for everyone? Or are we heading toward a Star Wars universe, where it just becomes another tool for the powerful to get even more powerful? The truth is, the answer isn't written yet. It's going to depend entirely on the choices we all make about how we build, regulate, and use these incredible new tools.